Nobody really knew that I was divorced. I kept it to myself. Why do we keep things like that to ourselves? Why didn't I want to share that with people? Because I felt that I was going to be judged for choosing me. But choosing me has been the best decision that I have done for myself. Hello, everyone. I'm Michelle Cordy. I'm a transformational coach, and I am here to help people feel seen, heard, valued, and supported for who they truly are. Love helping people in any way I can. And one of the things I want to talk about today is why I didn't share about my divorce for 6 months and how my network reacted. I truly believe in divine timing and trusting the unknown and going within and really relying on your intuition. The divorce topic is not talked about a lot. You don't really hear people talk about it. And therefore, people don't know your story. And a lot of people didn't know my story. And I had to go inward and really think and be with myself. Really, in the solitude, you really are only with yourself. And when you are with a partner, as long as I was for 29 years, married almost 23, and you're always with somebody, and then you're without somebody, I mean, that's an adjustment in itself. And then for myself, I was living on my own for the first time in my entire life, and that's an adjustment. And then learning to do things on my own when you rely on somebody else, or you have a partner help you talk things through and work things out, or help with whatever you're working on, either mentally, physically. There's different stages in life where you have a codependency on someone, and that's even with parents, and children and so forth, or even friendships. So this can be about any relationship, but I'm talking about my divorce right now. And when you're rebuilding trust with yourself, you really have to rely on things, did I make the right decision? And I did. And it's something that had been processing for a while. And when I finally made the decision, I started to question myself because of my ex's reaction. It's like the communication became better between us, and something that we should have worked on prior to that. But, people grow apart and chapters end, and there's always reason for things. Sometimes we don't know at the stage, but sometimes we do. We have to rely on our intuition. And that's what I have really been tapping into in solitude, is really when you go within and you peel back the layers of yourself to really get to know yourself before the conditioning of other people's that have placed upon you. And I'm talking anything from all the way back to childhood, anybody, from parents to teachers and people you've interacted with, and society in general, and want you to conform and so forth. And we have to rely on ourselves. That's the only person we're with 24/7, 365. So one of the biggest things is gut intuition. And when you really start tapping into that and knowing who you are as you peel back the layers, it's an emotional roller coaster ride, that's for sure. When you're triggered by someone, you realize, it stems from, normally it's childhood, things that have come up in the past, and you go, okay, why is this coming up again? It's because you're trying to heal and you're grieving. It's a grieving process, just like anything. If you lost someone who passed away, it's just a new life. You're rebuilding a new life, and that's okay. And it's okay to go in solitude. Solitude, like I said, is where you find the answers from within. And I am in solitude a lot by myself. But I also want to really, I believe we're souls having a human experience. And when we were put on this earth, we have lessons to learn for our growth And that's what I want to do. I want to conquer my lessons. And if this is one of the lessons, obviously it is, and then speaking about it to help others, you rely on their intuition, then that's what I want to do. So I want you to keep believing in you because you are worth it. And the biggest thing is having unconditional love for yourself, and that's what it stems from. It took me 6 months to share my story on social media, expectations versus reality. And I actually got a channel download. And if you're not sure what that is, it's just like we have a higher self. So our higher self is always guiding us. And when you're in tune with yourself, when you do the inner work and believe in yourself, it was, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was just guided just right. And I never do that. I never get that kind of download. And I did. I just wrote what was coming from my heart. And I was like, this is coming from me. I'm writing this. And then I came down to my office and I typed it up and reworded some things, and I moved around paragraphs. And after 4 o'clock in the morning, was the July of 2024, I posted on social media. And the first place I posted it was on Facebook, because that's where a lot of, my connections are. And also, nobody really knew that I was divorced. I kept it to myself. Why do we keep things like that to ourselves? Why didn't I want to share that with people? Because I felt that I was going to be judged for choosing me. But choosing me has been the best decision that I have done for myself. And when you choose you realize that that's what you have to do in life. Because this journey is not easy. This human experience, we're always learning and evolving. And there's no mistakes. There's no mistakes in life. And there's no good or bad. Society has labeled everything good and bad. You determine that yourself. Take the risk. The mistakes are how we learn and grow. It's not failure. You tried. There are different outcomes for different situations. There's chapters that close for a reason, for new chapters and new beginnings to unfold. And when I shared the news on Facebook, my first thoughts are, I'm going to lose people. People are going to delete me. Well, that's all right. They're not my true connections then. But when I shared that, I got an outpouring of love. I was shocked. I was getting text messages. I was getting messages, my inbox, DMs. And I was really surprised at some of the people I was hearing from. I was also surprised from the people I was not hearing from. And that's okay. Because when you choose yourself, you know what's best for you. And as you do the inner work, you raise your vibrational frequency. And there are different people that will fall off in your world. And that's all right, because you're making space for the people who are in your world, who need to be in your world, that you're aligned with, and that will get you for you. And that's all I want to be, seen, heard, and valued for who I truly am, and loved for me. I believe we're all here on a mission, and my mission is to share my stories of everything that I've been through. And I'll be talking about different pillars that I've been through, different aspects of my life. And, this aspect has been about divorce and relationships. And you have to just keep believing in you and not allow the outside world to define you. And the reality is, you decide your reality. You create your own reality, because it's the belief in you and the self-acceptance that you get as you continue to do the inner work. And we're always healing and learning and growing. I'm often triggered about people, or what people say or do. And it's not something they've done. People are mirrors, and they're mirroring triggers for you to heal even further. And that's what I'm working on, is the self-acceptance, feeling that I'm enough, feeling that I can be loved for who I truly am from anyone who's comes in my life, any relationship, friendship, family members, and so forth. That's what I just want, to be accepted, and the first person you have to accept is yourself. Self-acceptance. And that's what I'm working on and continue to work on. And it's a journey, but you are so worth the effort, the love, the courage. It's all life lesson. It's all for our soul's evolution. Never, ever, ever give up on yourself. I haven't, and I won't. I will continue fighting for me because I believe in me. I chose me, and I will keep choosing me. And whomever wants to be in my life, they have to accept me for who I am. This highly sensitive soul who's doing her soul's mission, that's who I am. They have unconditional love for me, and I will continue to work on that. Breaking free from the outside noise when you're going through the divorce, such as no longer affiliated with the people that were once in your life, such as the in-laws, the mutual friends that you have, the neighbors that you move away from. It's an adjustment, but in order to rediscover yourself before you're, someone else in a partnership, and, this not only has to be with the divorce, it could be with friendships or other relationships throughout your life, but breaking free from the outside noise is what you need to do, because the inner work is where you need to process your emotions, because it's a roller coaster ride of emotions, especially with the divorce. Society has taught you to, stick things out, and some people are in relationships much longer than they need to be. There comes a time in your life where chapters do close, and it's self-acceptance. It's just like you might beat yourself up like, wow, this didn't work out and I thought it would. And you go through all these limiting beliefs in your head, and you make up stories, and then you're going to tell yourself these stories are untrue. And then you might hear things from other people. Well, so-and-so and saying this about you, and, you only know your truth. Nobody else knows your truth, because you're with yourself 24/7, 365, and people can judge you, but they only know an inkling of the story. They don't know everything that you've been through. And, people only share so much. I think the biggest thing is you find out who your true people in your life are when you do go through a divorce or any type of situation that changes so many things in your life. You might outgrow people because they don't get you for who you are becoming. And that's, again, the rediscovery of yourself and who you are as an authentic person. But it's a lot of unbearing of the limiting beliefs and not believing the made up stories that we tell ourselves. It's the self-acceptance of, okay, I did this, and now what? What do I need to do to get myself through this? And it's okay to not know the answers, and just, I'm a big believer of staying in the present moment and going with the flow. Just keep believing in you. That's what you need to keep doing, is have the belief in you, because who else is going to believe in you if you're not believing in yourself? Facing your own judgment and forgiving yourself as you choose yourself and prioritize your needs. I'm a former people pleaser. I was always putting others before myself, never taking care of me, never put boundaries up for myself, always bending over backwards for people. And it's okay to say no. And it's okay to not have an explanation. No is an answer. And people might not understand the no, but you know the no. And that's what's most important. The judging, gosh, we're so hard on ourselves. I am hard on myself. I have always been my entire life. due to my upbringing and so forth. And you have to forgive yourself, first and foremost. Not only you have to forgive yourself, but you have to love yourself. Because in order to get through any life changes, you have to choose yourself. And that's what I did. I chose me. And I am very happy that I have. It's taken a lot of inner work every single day. Every single day. It's a healing journey. We're always learning and growing to evolve our souls. And very proud of myself. And if you are going through any situation that you feel stuck and stagnant, you got to move that energy through you. You know, everything is a vibrational frequency. We're energy. And that energy needs to flow through us because we'll cause our own dis-ease if we do not. You need to allow the emotions to come up and filter through you. And that's what I've done. I've done a lot of crying. A lot of crying. But crying's okay. Crying is okay. The release of the emotions. You know, I'm a sensitive soul, but that's who I am. And I am embracing every aspect of myself and trying to have self-acceptance for myself and not judging myself for any of the things that I've done throughout my life. And it starts with forgiving you. You know, you are worth the love that you give to others, but that needs to stem from you first. You've got this. After I found my place, living on my own for my very first time, I started unpacking, getting myself situated. I didn't listen to music. I didn't turn my TV on. I just sat with myself. I journaled a lot, cried a lot. I really went inward. And I'm very blessed because I do have a lake view, and I sat outside a lot. And I did a lot of thinking, probably a lot of overthinking too. I tend to do that as well, don't we all? But in solitude is where you find the answers from within. You got to dig deep, and it's not easy. Believe me, it's not easy, but it's so worth it. Finding your true authentic self through all of this. And that's what we're here for. And it takes the love and courage and strength from yourself. You're not going to get that from any other person. You can find people who are like-minded and aligned with you and use them as an outlet if you choose to. I'm a big believer in trust, so if I open up to you, that means I can trust you and not, share everything that I've opened up to you about. But I keep my circle small, and it keeps getting smaller because I keep doing my inner work. And there are people who do not. And that saddens me because I can see so much potential in so many people. And, it's a choosing. You got to choose you. You got to choose you first. You can't pour from an empty cup. If you're, a parent, your children are going to pick up on that. I did as a child. And that's where a lot of my childhood wounds are. It's like you see things or you feel things. I'm a big feeler. Big feeler. I'm an empath, a highly sensitive empath. I wear all my heart on my sleeve. I'm a sensitive soul. But that's who I am. So find peace in your solitude. Whatever makes you go within, whether it's going for a walk outside or just sitting out in nature. I started here in my condo by myself in the winter months. And that was hard, being inside all the time because I love being outside. And, the winter can be gloomy and no sun, and I thrive on sun. But whatever helps you move forward. And eventually I did listen to music, and I'm not a big TV watcher, but You can find things that, light you up and lift you up, whatever that might be. It could be something so silly as, dancing. I love to dance. So you got to find your joy from within to get you through your healing process. And know that you're worth every step of the way. And be proud. Be proud of yourself for the little things, because those little things add up. It takes courage to do any life changes. And know you are worth it. Just keep having love for yourself. Just keep telling yourself, I love you. I'm proud of you. Those are words that I say to myself often. And you get to the point where you really, truly start believing it. And it feels good. Keep believing in you. And if you're having, a bad day, and we, don't try to use the word bad. That's just, society's coining. But give yourself love, compassion, and grace. It's okay to have off days. It's okay to just be. We always don't have to be doing something. You can just be. Be in the present moment. Go with the flow. Find your inner joy. And when you start finding your inner joy, you start glowing. People often say, I'm glowing. It's because I'm working on me. It's not easy, but it's so worth it. And you're worth it.